Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to accept crypto payments in a full stack Django and React application using Cryptomus. So on my screen here, I have a simple full stack application built with Django and React. On this app, users can come on board to purchase their game credit and then make payments with cryptocurrency. Thanks to Cryptomus for this. So right now, click on the buy coins button. So we have different coin packages. We have the starter pack, we have the bronze pack, the silver pack, the gold, the platinum, and the diamond pack. So you can pick whichever one you want and then make your payment. So for me, I'm going to go with the starter pack, which is about $2.22, and I will make my payments. You understand? So right now, here is my Cryptomus account. I have about $40 in my personal account, and in the business account, I have about $8. So on Cryptomus, for you to integrate Cryptomus into your website, you have to create a merchant account on Cryptomus. A merchant account is simply like a seller's account. You understand? So I currently have a merchant account. So currently, click on the business. So currently, in my personal account, I have $40. Then in the business account, I have about $8. I've already made sales of about $8, right? So click on it. So I'm going to show you my merchant account. So currently my merchant is called Clintomatics. So I've received about $11 today. You understand? Yeah, I've received about $11 today. So right now, currently I have $8 balance here. So right now I'm about to receive another income, right? So if this user makes payments, my balance goes up. So let's see. So right now I want to buy the starter pack. So click on the buy now button. So for you to buy a plan, you have to input your email address and your username. So I'm going to let's go with spence@gmail.com, and then input the username. Let's call it Spence also, and then let's pay with crypto. Click on the button that says pay with crypto. Click on it. So right now we are being redirected to Cryptomus to make our payments. So currently, here's the payment page. With Cryptomus, you can add your brand information. So currently, my brand is called GameVault, and here's the logo. So scroll down to make your payment. So pick the currency. So we are going to go with USDT, and then choose the network. And it says here BEP20 is the popular choice. So go with so right now we have to pick the popular choice. Click on BEP20, and then click on proceed to the payment. So yeah, so right now we're about to make our payments, and on this page now, if you scroll down, you can pay with crypto. You can pay with Cryptomus. If you have an account on Cryptomus, you can pay with Cryptomus, or you can choose any other crypto platform of your choice if you want to, and then you can pay with your card. You can also pay with your fiat currency. You don't have to have cryptocurrency to use to make payments. You understand? You can pay with your card, you can pay with Cryptomus, so you can choose any other crypto platform of your choice. You understand? So right now I have some funds on Cryptomus, right? So I'm going to pay with Cryptomus. So click on the pay button, click on the pay with Cryptomus button. So it's asking for my two-factor authentication code. So I'm going to input my out on my phone. Let me input it. So let's confirm. So it's loading. Let's give it some time to load finish, and hopefully our payment is going to be successful. So right now it says payment paid. You have successfully paid the invoice. That's good. So right now let's go back. So we are going back to GameVault, and right now it says payment successful. Understand? So Spence has purchased the starter pack successfully. So I go back to my Django admin. Here's the Django admin. Let's refresh the page now. We are going to see a new user called Spence, and he now has 1,000 coins. Remember, Spence purchased the starter plan, and the starter plan gives you 1,000 coins. So right now in this video, I'm going to show you how to accept payments, how to accept crypto payments using Cryptomus. It's going to be an exciting time. So without further ado, let's get started right now. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how to accept payments, how to accept crypto payments into a Django and React application. So let's go back to GitHub. I have to go get the code from Git. I have to go get want to reclone the code from GitHub and then show you the whole setup process, the whole workflow. So right, this application you see here, let's get the code on GitHub. So here's my GitHub now. So I'm going to share the GitHub link in this video's description, the link to the repository, so you can test it out for yourself. So here's the front end. So click on it. There's the front end with React. So I'll simply just download it. I don't have to clone. Download the zip file. So it's being downloaded. So right now, let's go for the backend. This is the backend here. So let's download the zip file too. And now I'm going to show you how to set up this on your local environment. So yeah, it has been downloaded now. Let's get it. These are the two files. Yep, so let me just simply unzip them. Yep, unzip. Okay, it has been unzipped now. So I will have to open this with VS Code. Right click, show more options, open with code. So that's coming up. So right now, let's get the backend. This is the backend. Simply unzip it. Okay, yeah, the front end is up now. So let's do our basic setup. Remember, this is a React project. So what do you do first? Right now, just simply open a new terminal, and then we have to run npm install so we can get all the dependencies for this project. So let's say npm install. It's enter. So let's get the backend now. It's in the backend. Yeah, this is the backend. So let's open this with VS Code. It's coming up. Front end is currently on its way. The backend is here too. So what do we do? Let's create a new terminal, and then we create our environment variables. Choose command prompts always, and that's what I use. So let's create our environment variable. So I'm going to call let's just say Python. Let's increase this. Python make venv. So I'm going to call my environment variable venv. Yep. So it has been created. So let's wait for this to be done. Let's check out the front end. Oh, npm is still running. Let's wait for it. Our virtual environment has been created for the backend for the Django project now. So what do we do? So I have to just simply activate it. Sorry, I'm on Windows. So this is how we did it on Windows. Activate. So on Linux or Mac, there is a different command. It's called source. On Linux, it's like this. Source, then venv bin/activate. bin/activate. If bin does not work, you might have to try scripts. Let's see what we have there. So we have to, okay, it's called scripts.activate, not bin. If you're on Linux or on a Mac computer, you have to use scripts, then activate, right? So for me, I'm on a Windows computer, so I'm going to say venv, then /scripts, then activate. So my virtual environment has been activated. So what next? I have to install what I have in my requirement.txt file. So over here, I'm going to say pip install, then r requirements.txt, pip install r, then requirement.txt. So let's wait for that to get installed. Okay, I thought right now for the front end parts, npm is done installing the necessary packages we need. So right now, let's run npm run dev. So currently on the backend, we are currently installing the requirements for the backend. It's a simple process. Go over to GitHub, get the front end and the backend code, run them locally, and then we are going to plug in Cryptomus to accept crypto payments. Very, very simple. So the front end is ready. Let's open it. Click on this, hold down Control and click on this link. Click on the local URL. Let's see what it looks like. It's coming up. Oh, I think it threw an error. I guess it's waiting for the backend to be ready. Okay, the backend is also ready. Yep, so now, yeah, it's ready. Let's run server. Let's say Python manage.py. Run server. So our server is up now. Here's the port. Here's our local host. So back to the front end now. I have to create our env file. Just call it let's just say .env .development. Currently we're on development environment. So in this file, I'm going to create an environment variable, and it's going to be called API URL vit underscore API underscore URL. That's going to be equal to our backend. It's going to be equal to our backend URL, and from here, the backend URL is currently this local host. So I'll just simply come over here. So we back to here. I'll say HTTP, then 127.0.0.1, then port 8000. Yeah, so we've done this now. Let's run this. I'm going to run server again. I'm going to say npm run dev. Yep, so back here, hopefully this works. Perfect. So now we have the platform now. Our platform is now currently running locally. We've got all our packages coming from the backend, understand? So right now this is local. This is on the local environment. This is currently live. This what we have here is live. So I'm going to close this off now. So what we have here now is currently on our local environment. We have the front end and the back end both running locally. Right now, I'm going to show you how to accept crypto payments using Cryptomus. We are going to be integrating Cryptomus into our system. But before I proceed, I'd love to give you a brief walk around on what Cryptomus is and what they do. So right here, Cryptomus is a multifunctional platform designed for both business and personal use. You understand? E-commerce, retailers, and even individual users tend to run tens of thousands of crypto transactions daily. That's indeed huge. You understand? So I've spent some time on Cryptomus and I've noticed some benefits it provides its users. You understand? So one of the first one is the white label page. For example, now if I want to integrate Cryptomus into my system, I have the access, I have the ability to put in my own brand information. You understand? So right now I'm currently using GameVault. So on the payments page I can impute my brand information and also my brand logo. That's super important. You understand? And one more thing, Cryptomus also enable you to pay with your fiat currency. You don't have to have cryptocurrency to make payments. You can pay with your fiat currency like your dollar, your euro, your pounds you get. So that works on Cryptomus. And on Cryptomus, we also have the automatic conversion. In a sense, so let's say a user pays you in BTC. On Cryptomus, can always enable automatic conversion whereby the BTC gets converted to USDT. That way, your funds is being protected from fluctuation. You understand? You know, on crypto market, the funds tend to rise and fall. So with this automatic conversion, your funds get protected. That is super important. We then have the mass payout. As a merchant, you can decide to pay out to your customers in a single session. You understand? So that is super important. And lastly, I'm going to talk about, you can also integrate Cryptomus into your own system, into your own website. And that's what I want to show you guys in this video. So right now, let's hop into that. So now, to integrate Cryptomus now, you have to have an account on Cryptomus. The account creation process is very, very seamless, very easy. Create your account, pass your KYC, and you are good to go. The KYC verification is very, very seamless, super fast. It's very, very quick. So just do that and then you're good to go. So right now I already have an account, right? So I already passed my KYC, right? So back to my, so right now I want to create my merchant. Understand? For you to receive payments, you have to create a merchant. And before you can create a merchant, you must have a personal account first. Creating a merchant is just a few clicks. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to put you through right now. So let's create our merchant. Yep, so right now I already have my accounts. I'm logged in. As for you, create your account, pass your KYC. Now we are going to create our merchant. We're going to create the merchants together, and then we'll start receiving payments as easy as ABC. So right now click on this icon. So then click on business. Click on business, then merchants. So let's create a merchant. So I already have a merchant. I already have this merchant called Clintimatics. As for you, you might not have any merchants yet. So you have to create your merchant, right? So then I'm going to create another merchant right away. Let's create a new merchant. So click on create merchant. So I pick my merchant name. I could just call it Kobe Clinton. Then let's create merchants. So let's go to setup. Come on. Currently, yeah. So we are here now. Click on merchant settings. Click on this. So yeah. So you have to pass this moderation. For example, now you have to add your project URL. You could add your React URL, your live React URL. You confirm the domain, and then you have to wait for about a few hours to get your merchant account active. You understand? So it's simple. Just follow the prompts, leave a request, just ask, do what just fill up the form, and then wait for a few hours. You have your account active, and then you can start receiving payments. So as for me now, I already have an active merchant account, which is Clintimatics, and I'm going to use this account. So right now, click on my active accounts. Click on the first one. So there are some credentials you need. Very important. So click on merchant settings. So now we need for us to integrate Cryptomus into our system. For us to do the API integration successfully, we need some credentials. For example, we need our payment API key, which we have here. Just copy this. And I also need my merchant ID. These two are very, very important. So we've got those two now. So what next? So back to our project. Before I go back to the project now, click on settings. I want to show you something. You can come over to API and then read more on how to perform the API integration. If so, currently we are trying to integrate the business aspects because we are trying to receive payments from customers, right? So you can read this documentation to just get more information. You understand? So just read through. It's super insightful. So I think I have to go back. Let me go back. Click on this icon, then business, then merchants, and then back here. I currently have an active merchant. Click on Clinton. I'm going to click on my active merchants, so I can get my credentials. Click on merchant settings, and then I have my API key and my merchant ID. I need these two. I need them. They are super important. So I'm going to go back to my backend now, to the Django project. Yep, here's the backend. So I have to create a file called .env. You don't have to expose these credentials, you understand? So you don't have to expose it. Don't worry about me. I have mine exposed to you. Don't worry. I'll regenerate a new credentials for these things. You don't have to expose your own. So go back to your project now. We have to create a .env file. A .env file. So now I need to get in my merchant API key, merchant underscore API underscore key. Then I need to also get the merchant ID, merchant underscore ID. I need the Cryptomus callback URL, Cryptomus. Don't worry, the callback URL is going to be coming from our project, right? I think it's Cryptomus underscore callback underscore URL, and I need the Cryptomus return URL. The callback URL is going to be a function from the backend, understand? And then we are going to have the return URL. The return URL is that page that shows the success, is the success page you saw on the front end. That's the return URL. So it's going to be the URL to that success page you saw on the front end when that user made payment for the starter coin, for the starter pack. You understand? So right now it's called return URL. So let's get the API key. So it's here. We just copy this, paste it here. Make sure there is no space. Make sure there is no space. Yeah, very important. Let's get the merchant ID. Copy this. Now paste that here. As for our callback URL, so back to my views.py file. I have this now. So the callback URL is that view. So here's our callback. Here's our callback function. So this callback helps to verify if a user actually made payments. You understand? So it helps to verify, and if the user makes payments, the callback helps to top up the user's coin balance. You understand? So that's what it does. It helps to check, oh, is the payment successful? Did you pay the actual price? If you did, then you have your coin balance topped up, right? So we have to put in the, so right now what do we do? Let's get the URL pattern for this view. Over to our UI.py file. Here is the URL pattern. Just copy this. So currently we are on local hosts. I'm going to say HTTP localhost port 8000. Then put in my callback URL, and then the return URL is going to be equal to back to the front end. There's a front end domain, this localhost. So when you deploy your app, you have to put in the live URL. So currently I'm on local environment, and the return URL is currently, what was it called again? I have to check. I think it's called order. It's called order. Let me check out the, go down to my app.txx. I think it's called order success. Yeah, this is the path, the routes. Copy that, and then back here to my backend env. Yep. So now, I said before, you need your merchant API key, you need the merchant ID, you need the callback URL from your backend, and the return URL is from the front end. Understand? So we've got all this available now. So what's next? Let's integrate Cryptomus. So right now, for Django to capture these changes, for Django to have these changes captured, you have to make sure you run your server again, so Django can capture them. If you don't, Django will not take note of them. So run server again, that's important. So now we've gotten our credentials ready. So one more thing now, this callback URL will not work locally. It won't work locally. So we can use ngrok to make our Django, our API appear as though it is on a live server, you understand? So you can use ngrok for that. So I'll simply use this. So if you do this, if you use your local URL, it won't work. I recommend you either deploy your backend, or if you want to test, you can simply use ngrok to test. So right now, let's make the backend live using ngrok. You understand? That's fast. So back here, let's go down to ngrok. Okay, ngrok, click on the first link. So I think you might have to install ngrok. Let me log in quickly. So it's a simple workflow. So if you're on Mac, you have to download for Mac. If you're on Linux, download for Linux. I already have ngrok installed on my PC, so I have to just open it. It's here, ngrok. So right now our aim is to make our Django backend accessible live, you understand, without having to deploy it. So back here, so here's my ngrok terminal. So you can see the instructions they did there. So all you have to do is simple, just copy this, run this, paste that there, hit enter. So once that have been done now, see, then you have to then run this other one, ngrok http. So come over here and say ngrok, then http. then you have to put in the port number of your backend. So currently we are on port 8000 on the backend. Currently on port 8000. So you have to put in the port number. If you're on a different port, make sure you specify the ports over here. ngrok http port 8000. Hit enter. So right now we have a live ngrok URL. Copy this. You can just click on it. Hold down Control and click on it. So right now we have our backend live. If I this, so click on visit site. Let's go down to admin. Yep, our backend is now live. I can give anybody this link and they'll be able to access my Django REST API live without having to deploy it as far as ngrok is running. Right, so now right now I'm going to copy this ngrok domain, copy it back to our project. And we have to replace this local hosts with the ngrok domain. So that way now, yeah, everything is looking ready and perfect. So let's go. Let's continue. So right now, I'm going to give you a brief run through on the backend code. So we have a simple Django project called Gaming Shop Backend, and then we have our app. We have the app called Shop. So in the Shop app, we have the models.py file, right? So we have to customize the user model. We had to make the email unique. We added a new field called coin balance. You understand? And then we have the product field. The product are simply the coin packages. You understand? We like the starter pack, the platinum pack, the platinum pack, the gold pack. This is the model that handles it. Simple model. And then we have the order field. You understand? So the user creates an order, and then if the payment was successful, the order is tagged as paid. You understand? And then we add the transaction, and then we add a transaction ID to the order. So these are the three models we are using. Don't worry, I had to ignore the payments model. So we are using the order model, the products model, and the custom user model. Three simple models. You understand? So this order just helps to have record of each payment this user makes. Understand? And then we have the views.py. So let me just go down to the views.py and explain. So here we have the get products view. That's the view that's responsible for listing out the products. For example, this product you get, for displaying them. We also have the get products view. That's a view that's responsible for the detail page of each product. For example, that renders out the information on this page. You understand? That's the view we have there. And then we also have the get order status. So this is the view that helps render information on the payment success page. That page that shows payment successful. This is the view that renders information on that page. And then we have the create order page. So I have to do some explanations here. Let me clear out this. I'm going to do some explanation. So this is the view that handles this form. Whenever a user inputs his or her email, the username, and then click on pay. So this view here handles it. And this is where we have to integrate Cryptomus logic. You understand? What did we do? First thing, we got the product ID, the email of the user, the product ID, the username. You understand? We have to check if the email and username were provided. If they are not, we have to throw an error message. And over here, we have to create a user based on what was provided, based off the email, the username, and then we have to set a generic password called Cryptomus. That's just a simple workflow there. So right here, we have to get the products based on the provided products ID we got here. Understand? And then after getting the products, we then create an order. So the order is going to have a status of pending by default. Okay, we check the models.py file. Let me put the models.py file. The models.py file, there is the order model, and you will see the status here says default is going to be pending by default, except you've made payment successfully. Then the status gets changed to paid. But so by default, the status is going to be saying the order status is going to be reading pending. So we created our order here. Yeah, so we've done the basic Django parts. So here is where the Cryptomus comes in. So in Cryptomus, we have to prepare. Here is our data Here is what we need to pass to Cryptomus. Passing the amount, and we are getting the amount from the product's price. Then the currency is USD. Then we're passing the order ID, which we got from here. And then remember we have the callback. We have to pass in the URL callback. Remember we have this in our environment variable, and we go down to the settings.py file, to our settings.py file, which we have here. I have to get all those credentials from my environment variable. I have them all here. I have to get them from the environment variable so you can access it in the views.py. So I have to then say, so I have to get my callback URL, the return URL, and then this is the body you need to pass to Cryptomus, just the way it is. Yeah, and then we have to serialize this body to JSON by adding this, by doing this. And one more thing again, in Cryptomus, for it to receive payments, the signature is very, very important. You have to create a signature. Don't worry, there is a signature here. It has been created now. How was it created? It was created based off the merchant API key and the body. That was how we got the signature created. And it has to be in base 64 and MD5. It has to be in base 64 and also MD5. So here's a base 64 version of the body, and then we have to then add up the body with the merchant API key, and then everything had to be turned into an MD5 signature. So you need that, very, very important. So as for the headers, you need to send the headers involve the merchant ID and then the signature, which is what we have here. The signature, and then your content type should be application/JSON, and you are good. And over here, we then have to make our API request. We have to make our post request from the backend, not from the front end. You understand? From the back, it is safer to be done on the back end than on the front end. So here's our URL. Here's the Cryptomus URL, and then we passed in the headers, which is what we have here, and the data is the JSON body, which we have to serialize. We have to serialize this to JSON. We pass that there, and then we have to also add a timeout, a 15 seconds timeout. Alright, that's it. And then we got our data. We got our response back. We made a post request to Cryptomus. We're expecting a response that contains the payment URL we are going to get redirected to. Then we got the response, so you can see if payment URL, return the order ID and the payment URL. So when we get the payment URL on the front end, we then get redirected to that payment URL to make our payments. It's as simple as that. So that's how it works. That was it for the creating of order or invoice on Cryptomus. That's it there. So let's try it out locally and see. We've got all our credentials done. Right, let me just run. Yeah, we've got everything done. I think we can text it now. I'll come over here and I'll create a new account. I might just say let me call this user Daniel. Let me say Daniel at gmail.com. I want to use a unique user. I might just say let's say David at gmail.com, and then I'll put in his username as David. And now let's pay with crypto. Click on the pay button. We are trying to buy the $19 coin. Do I have up to $19 in my account? I think I do. I think I have up to $19 in my Cryptomus account. So let's pay with crypto. So we are expecting to get redirected to the payment URL, and then we are getting redirected right to the payment URL. So it's loading. Yeah, so yeah, we are here now. So I'll also show you how to add your brand information. You understand? I'll show you that very soon. But before I proceed, I want to explain the callback function. So we have the callback function here. Here's the callback. The callback helps to check if the payment was successful. If it is successful, you pay the actual price, you will get value for your payments. For example, the user coins gets topped up, you understand? So how does it work? So don't worry, the callback now, so here is how it works now. So we get the data from Cryptomus. This is done automatically, not by you. We receive some data from Cryptomus for this callback function. You understand? We receive the UID, the order ID, and the status coming from Cryptomus. We didn't pass it by ourselves. It was not passed by us. It came from Cryptomus. You understand? So Cryptomus passed it to us. But there is this. We have to check for something. We have to check for the received sign. Remember, we got this sign coming from Cryptomus. We have to check if this sign is valid. So how do we check? We simply have to get our body, which we did here, our body, our JSON body, and then we have to then get the merchant API key, and when you convert them to base64 and then use MD5 on it, if the signs are both, if our sign and the received sign are the same, that means all is well. We can proceed with the callback. But if they're not the same, we are going to return a response that says invalid signature. You understand? So don't worry about the callback. Our data is coming from Cryptomus itself. So we got the UID, we got the order ID, we got the status, and then we have to check if the status is paid. If it is paid, we have to update our status, our order status from pending to paid, and then we have to also top up the user's coin balance, and then we have to save, and that's it for the callback URL. So right now, let me show you how to add your brand information. So after you might have created, I have to just put in my pin. So yeah, so after you might have created your merchant, you've gotten your credentials, which I have mine here. You can always add your brand settings. Click on those brand settings. Click on it, and then yeah, so you're here now. So it might be off. If it's off, you have to make sure it is toggled on. You can see it here. You can say I added my logo, added the name of my platform, which is called GameVault. So as for you can do the same thing. Your logo has to be in SVG format. If you have your logo in PNG or JPEG, you can go online and search for converters that can help you convert from JPEG to SVG, and then you input your logo, and then you have the payment page looking like your brand, you understand? So just looking like your brand, you understand? So just look at where it says here. I have GameVault. That is looking good, right? So now let's complete our payments. Where are we? I think we're about to make payments on Cryptomus. Yeah, so yeah, we're about to make, let's go, we can go back. Let's go back. Okay, the payment says spending. That's because I did not complete the payment, right? I didn't complete it. This is our payment page. The payment was not completed, right? So let's just say back to home. Let's go on again. Sorry, click on shop. Let's buy the bronze pack, which is about $19. But let's buy it now. So the user is called David. Let's say David. And then let's pay with crypto. So we are being redirected for us to make our payments. So if you want to accept payments with crypto, if you want to accept crypto payments, from what you've seen, Cryptomus is one of the best choice out there for you to use. Highly recommended. A lot of amazing features for you to implement. You understand? So I highly recommend Cryptomus. So right now we have to pick our currency, USDT of course, and then the network should be BEP20. It is currently the popular choice on the platform. In instance, so just pick BEP20 and then proceed to the payments. Click on the button, and then you can pay with. You can see we have different options. You can decide to pay with Cryptomus. If you have an account on Cryptomus, you can decide to pay with a different crypto platform, or you can pay with your card. You understand? So you don't have to have cryptocurrency to make crypto payments. You can also pay with your card. You can pay on Cryptomus if you have an account. You can pay with a different crypto platform. You understand? So right now, I think I have some money on I have some funds on my Cryptomus account. So I'm going to pay with Cryptomus. Pay with Cryptomus. So I have to input my two-factor authentication code. Let me get it from my phone. Enter. Confirm it. So let's hope our payment is going to be successful. I'm super sure. So it's loading. Once it's done loading, you scroll back up, you see a success message up here. So right now it says payment is paid. You have successfully paid the invoice. So let's go back to our page. Oh, it says payment pending. I think something is wrong somewhere. Right now it says payments pending. I think our webhook was not triggered. That's what it is. Our webhook was not triggered. Remember, I recently updated this to use the URL from NGRock. I don't think I ran the server. I don't think so. Let's run server again. Whenever you update your env file, you always have to run server again so that Django gets the contents of your captures the contents of your env file. That might be my mistake. I really hope that was the issue. So let's try again. So let's buy a coin now. Let's buy a coin. Your webhook has to be active. So I'm going to go for the cheapest coin. Setting user is David. So if this is successful, currently on the back end, David has 0 coin balance, 0 coins there. This is David, 0 coins. So if he pays for this and everything goes well, if we have his coin balance updated top, so let's pay for the 1000 coin pack. So pick your currency, USDT, network, BEP20, proceed to the payments, and then let's pay with Cryptomus. I've got to input my two-factor authentication code. So let's confirm this. Confirm. So it's loading. Let's give it some time to load, and hopefully, let's go back to the page. Let's see. Perfect. You can see now it says payment successful. We have the celebration mode. Our payment is successful. David has made payments. David has successfully paid for has successfully made payments. You understand? And what else? Let's go back and confirm. There is David now. If I refresh this, it should be 1000 coins for David. 1000 coins now. So David has coins to play game, right? So we've made payments. Right now, this is a real-time payment. You understand? It's real-time. I can go back to my dashboard. Go back to overview. I'll show you it's real-time. So you can see I've made some payment now. What I have left is about $15 in my personal account. In my business account, the merchant account, let's see. I think I've received some money. Now you can see now, yeah, today I've got some money. I've received some payment. So you can see everything is real time. Whichever payment I make happens real time on my Cryptomus account. You understand? So don't worry, I can always transfer the money from my merchant account to my personal account. I can always do a transfer on both sides if I want to. So this is working real time. I just showed you how you can accept crypto payments using Cryptomus. It is super seamless, very easy to do. So I recommend if you want to accept crypto payments on your own website, I recommend Cryptomus for you. Try it out. You understand? So don't worry, the source code for this video is going to be in this video's description, so you can try out things for yourself. You understand? So and if you want to, and you can also check out Cryptomus URLs in this video's description. You can sign up, get your API keys, get your merchant ID, and then start receiving crypto payments from your customers. You understand? So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. So stay blessed and bye bye.